Chapter 48, Grandparents. We got up at about 9 in the morning Atlanta time to continue on to Orlando. It was about 4.5 more hours until we crossed into Florida, and after that we stopped for a quick lunch at a Wendy's, and then it was 2.5 more hours before we got off I-75 South to head on to Florida's Turnpike to head into Orlando. After that, it was about 40 minutes until we got on I-4 West, which we took 9 miles to exit 68, which is Florida State Route 535, and after a left turn and then another right turn, we were at the Vista Way Apartments, which is where my grandparents live. The other side of I-4 is Disney World. We never go to Disney World despite being Disney buffs because Mommy and Daddy say that when we are in Orlando, it is meant to be family time because it is the only week a year we see our grandparents. Not fun time, and Disney World is fun time. Our grandparents were waiting for us outside of their apartment when we pulled in. "Grandma and Grandpa!" I said as I was rushing out of the car. I then hugged them. "Hi, George," said Grandpa. "Hi, Green One," said Grandma. Mom, I know what you just called him. You either call him George or Prince George of Robbinsog," said Daddy, yelling out the window as we were pulling in. Grandma shrugged. Sam and Dr. Morcassius got out of the car and hugged Grandma and Grandpa too. "How was the ride down from Chicago?" Grandma asked. "You mean Robbins-Og? We don't live in Chicago," said Dr. Morcassius. "Yes," answered Grandma. "It was nice," said Dr. Morcassius. "Nice hotels?" Grandma asked. Very. We stayed at the high-rise in Cincinnati and Atlanta," said Sam. "And on the way back up, we are going to stay at a Red Roof Inn in Valdosta and at the Mammoth Cave Hotel at the National Park in Kentucky," added Dr. Morcassius. "Cool," said Grandpa. We then entered our grandparents' apartment, which is huge, and we all love it, except for the fact that it is not surrounded by skyscrapers in the third largest city in America. It can definitely hold the 7 of us Robins. "Thanks for taking the Christmas tree down for us," said Mommy as we were entering the apartment living room. "You're welcome," said Grandpa, shrugging. Me and my brothers then sat down on the couch at the living room. "So, how's retirement going?" Dr. Morcassius asked. "Great," said Grandma. Just waiting to die so that way I can meet Mary and Jesus in heaven," said Grandpa. "Ronald, remember we're not supposed to shove our Catholic beliefs down their throats." "Yeah, I think that was going to be a problem for me," said Grandpa. Grandpa then switched the subject entirely. "So, Marcus, I hear you have a girlfriend now." That is Dr. Morcassius to you," said Dr. Morcassius. "No, it isn't," said Mommy as if she was unloading her luggage. "Well, to make a long story short, I do," said Dr. Morcassius. Dr. Morcassius then took out his phone. "Here she is," said Dr. Morcassius, giving our grandparents the phone. Our grandparents then looked at his phone. "Her name is Hannah. She is exactly 8 years older than me," said Dr. Morcassius. "She was also born on New Year's Day?" Grandma asked. 1992. I was born on New Year's Day of 2000, said Dr. Morcassius. "Nice," said Grandma. You get your taste in women from your father," said Grandpa. Mommy then cringed as she was walking by, but I did not know what he meant. What do you mean?" Dr. Morcassius asked, who I think may have actually been reading my mind a bit. Like your father, you are also attracted to cougars," said Grandpa. Dr. Morcassius, I could tell, was a little bit offended by that, with the look he put on his face. So, how was your first year of middle school going?" Grandpa asked. Grandpa asked Sam. "Terrible," Sam answered. "Why?" Grandpa asked. "Because they were just so strict there," Sam answered. "How so?" Grandma asked. They give you a detention just for being late to class," said Sam. "That is not so strict," Grandma said. "Believe me, I don't like it," said Sam. At least you were cooperative, said Grandpa. Dr. Morcassius, I could tell, was cringing for some reason after my grandpa made that remark about being cooperative. I don't know why. So, George, how is kindergarten going for you? Grandma asked. What now? Because of me being crippled right now because of what happened at recess, I said. Well, I didn't realize you were crippled. I didn't realize you were crippled until now. I always just thought of you as my green grandson. What happened? Grandpa asked. I was pushed off the ledge at recess, resulting in me damaging the right side of my body, I answered. Oh no, said Grandma. I broke my limbs and cracked my head, and I should be out of this wheelchair in a little bit over a month, I said. Your parents should sue the family who did this to you, said Grandma. We did and got someone check of $3,000, Mommy. Mommy banked $2,000 of it, and the other $1,000 I got to spend. That's nice, said Grandma. Yep, you have the best daughter-in-law in the world, I said. Grandpa then cringed while my grandma said nothing. Just then Mommy entered the room with her cane. We are done unloading the car. This area is secure. You can take your cloaks off now, said Mommy. Mommy then banged her cane on the ground. And remember, boys, you don't need to dress as royalty when you are around your grandparents, said Mommy. We then got out of our cloaks. Finally, I can tell what grandson of mine is rich, said Grandpa. You will look great, said Grandma. Thank you, said Dr. Morcassius. Does Daddy look handsome? Asked Sam. Is Mommy beautiful? I asked. Yes and yes, answered Grandma. So Marcus, since you are a senior in high school this year, what are you planning on doing after high school? Grandpa asked. I plan on going to Loyola University in Chicago to get a doctorate in psychology so I can find a cure to autism, answered Dr. Morcassius. You think there is a cure for autism? Grandma asked. I have been studying for years in an attempt to find one, said Dr. Morcassius. I didn't know that, said Grandpa. I haven't been able to do that lately due to things I do not want to discuss here, but that is what I do almost every day for a few hours after school. Robbins-Og is located across Jackson Drive to the Harold Washington Library in downtown Chicago, said Dr. Morcassius, nodding and looking at us. Yep, he has been too busy lately, I said. Yep, he does that now, just less. Okay, said Grandma, literally like that in the alphabet. Over the summer, I went to the University of Chicago, where my girlfriend goes to participate in a 1-month autism program at the University of Chicago, said Dr. Morcassius. Is that where you met Hannah? Grandma asked. No, I met her when I needed to get a new cloak and cane at the costume shop she works at, said Dr. Morcassius. When did you begin dressing like that without your cloak? Grandpa asked. When I transitioned into Dr. Morcassius, Dr. Morcassius answered. You look crazy handsome. You look crazy in a handsome way like that, said Grandpa. Does that bother you? Dr. Morcassius asked. No, but the sunglasses you wear do, answered Grandpa. Why? Dr. Morcassius asked. Because I want to see my grandson's beautiful 2 eyes, said Grandpa. Fine, said Dr. Morcassius. Dr. Morcassius then took the sunglasses he always wears off. Now that's how I like it, said Grandpa. Well, so what is your girlfriend studying to be? Grandma asked. A lawyer, Dr. Morcassius answered. What kind? Grandma asked. A prosecution lawyer. She has about 3 months left of law school left at the University of Chicago, answered Dr. Morcassius. Oh, I forgot to ask. How was your time being a student at the University of Chicago? Grandma asked. Fine. I only did it because your son was offered a job to be a professor there in comic book art, asked Dr. Morcassius. Did he take that job? Grandpa asked. He did, and he now teaches a class in comic book art at the University of Chicago on Wednesday nights, answered Dr. Morcassius.